Hi ladies. Today we're going to talk about what lessons I learned from all my relationships, and I'm going to call this a dating inventory. I've got my notes over there, so you're going to see me checking them in order to make sure I get this right. But the reason we're doing this today is I think this is wildly helpful, and I want to demonstrate how if you analyze all your past relationships, you can kind of see where you're headed in terms of where the next partner should be and what makes sense in terms of picking them. The reason I find this so valuable is we know the divorce rate is now well above 50%. We are awful at picking. So if we can go through our past and see what we liked and didn't like about partners, I think we can do a much better job in picking in the future. All right, I'm starting all the way at the beginning, and this is what I want you to do. So you're gonna have to get a pen and paper out and do this, and this will be wildly useful. My first girlfriend, and I'm not gonna use names because I don't want to incriminate them, but my first girlfriend was amazing. I was 16 years old, and we made it about 6 months, and then I dumped her. Why? I want you to analyze why every relationship ended, in which ultimately you're probably looking at pros and cons of each partner. This one ended very simply because it was my first girlfriend and I wanted to see what else was out there. And I thought I could obtain better. So this is at the very beginning when I had a mindset of maybe where I was trying to obtain women that looked superficially more attractive to the outside. What I mean by that is I wanted a partner who was hotter physically, because I valued that, because that meant all my male friends and all of society valued her as higher. Now, this is not the right mindset for looking for a partner, but this is where I was at 16. All right, second girlfriend. I'm probably a little karma kick in the ass for this one. Chose this woman, we're dating. It's her birthday. I planned this amazing event for her. I bought tickets to the 9 Days concert. Then when we finished, I had this amazing scavenger hunt where we ended with chocolate and massages and candles, and I gave her a massage. And then the very next week, she dumped me for literally no reason, because we hadn't been dating very long. But what I realized here is I had to start picking women of character. If I look at this woman, she had drug issues, she was a smoker, she wasn't doing well in high school, she really had no purpose, she had no integrity, and I was just choosing her because I was attracted and she was fun. That's not the best way to select a partner. Once again, I was still in high school, I was about 17, 18. Third partner. I thought I was going to marry this one. This was, I guess we're skipping ahead. This is in my mid-20s. Fell in love with this woman, thought we were going to get married, and we kept having conflict come up. And this is the relationship where I realized I didn't understand women. This was extremely valuable. The main lesson here was when women had problems, it was not my job to solve them, which is what I tried to do there and got her frustrated. I needed to be available to listen to her and support her by validating that her emotions were real, validating her problems, and just being a sounding board, that I had her back. And she was a very capable woman. She could solve the problem herself. She didn't need me to offer a solution. She just needed me to be there for her. And I needed to learn that lesson. She cheated on me with a very close friend, but my blame in this is that I didn't understand women, I didn't understand what she needed, and ultimately was not providing a great relationship for her. Not condoning her to go outside the relationship, but I understand that I had some major fault here. Next relationship lasted 2 years. This is like my very first relationship, was a wildly secure and amazing relationship. If conflict came up, we talk it through. This was one of the most secure relationships I'd had up to this point. And because it was so secure, we had sex and the relationship was kind of boring. I typically, up until this point, was choosing women based on physical appearance. And this is once again in my mid-20s. This one, a friend that I trusted a lot said, hey, you should give this person a chance. And I did. I wasn't that physically attracted to her initially, but we had an amazing connection. We got along so well, but we started having boring sex for a long period of time, which caused me to break up with her. And looking back on this was a great partner. I just didn't have the skill set to realize that it's hard to have sexual chemistry and sexual excitement when you're treating this person like a friend. She lived like a block from me. We'd see each other all the time. So, we were not giving space. You need some scarcity and time sometimes, some time away from each other to want each other. I didn't understand testosterone cycles, how right after sex, You need to rebuild. A lot of things I needed to learn from that, but there was nothing wrong with this partner. I created something in my head, once again, still being immature, that I deserve someone more attractive, and that was important. I'm an idiot. Thank you for watching. But at least I'm honest. All right, next relationship, very similar, another secure partner. I ended it. When we have these secure relationships that are easy, it's almost like we want to shake things up. Like, oh, this feels boring. That's what a secure relationship kind of feels like. It should be easy. I mean, think about if you're ever going to have to raise children, you're going to go on vacations, things come up. This is what you want, someone that is easy to communicate with. Not some crazy roller coaster where you do have passionate sex, but you don't have a steady, calm way of communicating. All right, so now the next relationship is where I finally learned my most valuable lesson that I needed to learn. I picked this beautiful model, and she was gorgeous physically. She had a great job, made $300K a year. She was a doctor, she was a model, she was gorgeous. On paper, magnifique. But she was avoidant, so she wasn't fully available for emotion. Anytime I would express how I felt about her, that I wanted to see her, it all became too much. And like if I said, how I felt about her, it would make her be like cringe and kind of pull back. And so it made it very tough to be in partnership with her. It wasn't able to see each other. She was very busy, and she was very structured since she looked so amazing. She could only eat at certain times. She had to work out every day. So it was just hard to get together. And so for me, I realized that structure and that intensity that she had for work and life just didn't really suit me. It felt like I was a passenger on her ride, which is great for another busy man, but for me, it just didn't work. And I didn't like that for what I was looking for. So what I learned in her was just because she was gorgeous doesn't mean she can be your life partner. Now, fast forward, the next partner is Paige, the woman I'm seeing now and traveling the world with. I had to do a lot of soul searching and realize I need to stop. Even though I said I stopped 10 years ago, I really need to stop dating on looks. I do need to be attracted. We know men have eyes, but I need to pick someone based on the things that I've realized work with me. Even from my partnership that was 16, she was fun, she was playful, she had time for me, she valued relationships, she valued love, just like I do. I have a business that's around helping people fall in love. So Paige was fun, she was available, she was secure, she'd done work on herself, we could talk through things, we could communicate, and she was the first woman in a while, and the woman who was 16 didn't really play sports, and another one didn't, but all my partners always played sports and always looked a certain way. She didn't. For a while, it constantly comes up as a trigger, as something that's not comfortable. And also, we don't have any ups and downs, and she's used to having ups and downs too. She always used to pick partners that were exciting, where there was fighting and then there was hot sex, and we don't have that. We have very easy, breezy life where, of course, we have conflict, but we talk through it easily. This is the partner where I got back to a secure choice that wasn't based on looks, that was based on easy communication, that wasn't based on amazing sex, which, obviously we have good sex, but it's just an easy relationship where we can communicate. And ultimately, especially after you get past 3 months, what does a man want? He wants it to be peaceful. I'm sure you've all seen those partnerships where people are screaming at each other or just constantly in an argument. It's not fun. With my past partner, the one prior to this, the model, once we got to all this fighting, we were on different pages on things, you don't look at the looks anymore. So anyway, I think I learned a valuable lesson after each partner. So what I would suggest you do is pause this video and go through all your partners and think about what you learn, the pros of them, the cons of what you learn. And then this is going to guide you for when you select your next partner in terms of what you want. All right, hope that was helpful, and we'll see you next video. And by the way, my book is finally available, so if you want to go down in the description and get it, please do. All right, see you next time.